What's good, YouTube fight fans all over the world? It's your boy Real Talk Boxing, and we back at you again. Eddie Reynosa has a list for potential opponents in 2021. This year, Happy New Year's, by the way, for Canelo Alvarez. We got Plant, we got Saunders, we got Benavidez, and we got Errol Spence Jr. Now, before he gets to those fighters on that list, potentially, he has a showdown with Avni Yildirim, February the 27th, to defend his WBC super middleweight title. This will be a massacre. Okay, Yildirim is, I don't even understand why he's fighting him. I mean, the guy, it's just no contest. I mean, he got slept by Eubanks Jr. Eubanks Jr. just completely outclassed him and then slept him in the fight. And Yildirim fights like this. Okay, hit me, hurry up, hit me. That's his defense. He fights exactly like Arthur Abraham. Y'all remember him? You remember Arthur? That's exactly how Avni fights. So it's going to be a complete and utter massacre when that fight happens. Then we can move on to these potential opponents. Now, there's a fighter that I want to see him fight most out of that list. And of course, he wants to unify. So he's going to go for those titles, I believe, first before anything else. But there's one particular fighter on that list that will bring the most moolah, revenue, cash, cabbage. And that fighter is Errol Spence Jr. We'll get to that. But the fight I want to see him fight, the fighter I want to see him fight on that list, out of all of them, is David Benavidez. Yes, I know he doesn't have a title. He isn't the most skillful. But I think out of all those opponents, that would be the most exciting fight. I think it would bring out Canelo's attributes beautifully. Beautifully. Do I think Benavidez has a chance to win? I think he has a chance. Do I think he's going to win? No. I think he's going to stand in front of Canelo, trade with Canelo. I think he's going to be possibly throwing more punches than Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a high-volume puncher to be as tall and as big as he is. And he's going to give Canelo an opportunity to showcase his attributes, man. That's why I want to see that fight against Benavidez. And Benavidez just ain't going to lay down. Benavidez is going to fight Canelo Alvarez. How long can he last? I don't know. I don't see him winning that fight. But I do see in the fight being very, very exciting. And for a portion of time, competitive. But I do think, in the long run, the body attack of Canelo Alvarez to the taller fighter will prevail. Now, why do I say Errol Spence will be the biggest, the most marketable fight? The fight that's going to bring more revenue, more buys, more butts in the seat? It's because it's Errol Spence Jr. All right? And make no mistake about it, Errol Spence will gladly go up to 160 and fight Canelo Alvarez. Will he beat Canelo? No. No. Flat out no. Errol Spence, regardless of what people think or what people say, in my opinion, he doesn't show many levels. And if he tries to fight Canelo like he fought Sean Porter, like he fought Danny Garcia, he gonna get dropped, he gonna get knocked out, he gonna get stopped, one or the other. Too small, not strong enough. Not strong enough. Does he have a fighter's chance? I would say yes, but in my mind, in my opinion, and judging by what I see from both of them, Canelo will get him out of there inside of 8 to 9 rounds. I would definitely say. But Errol Spence is a big name, y'all. A huge name. And what does he have to lose? He's going up in weight to fight arguably the pound-for-pound best fighter of this era, which I think he is. I think Canelo is the truth. I believe he is the truth. And I say he's the truth. So he's going to be fighting the truth in Errol Spence. Some people think Errol Spence is the truth. Not at 160 and not against Canelo. Not against Canelo. But nevertheless, it will bring a lot of buys, a lot of money will flow should these fighters meet. But like I said, Errol Spence has nothing to lose. He's going up in weight to challenge pound for pound best in this era, Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo has something to lose. It's much like Mikey Garcia when he actually went up to fight Errol Spence. What did Mikey have to lose? The only thing he had to lose was losing against one of the best in that division. So why not? Nobody wants to fight him, supposedly. So Mikey said, I'll go up and fight him. I'll get that money. And if I lose, I lost to one of the best. And he was the bigger fighter. And I think that's going to be the same outlook Errol Spence is going to have moving up to fight Canelo Alvarez. But this is a list, with a handful of fighters. We may not see that. I hope we do. But for people who think Errol Spence is going to outright beat Canelo Alvarez, you got another thing coming. He has a chance because he is a professional fighter and he is a unified world champion. But in his last fight against Mr. Garcia, he looked a little slow. He didn't look the same. Obviously, it's because of the time off. I don't think the accident really did anything to change up, what he has, his level, his talent, his attributes. I don't think the accident did anything to him in that aspect. But the ring rust was definitely there, and I can tell he was a little bit slower, and his timing was a little bit off. But if he gradually fights, all that ring rust and all his timing will come back. But would that be enough to beat Canelo Alvarez? No, I don't think so. Now, out of all these fighters, I mentioned two, and that's because I only want to see him fight either David Benavidez, and for the money, Errol Spence Jr. Never mind my opinion. What's yours? Comment down below and let me know which one of these fighters do you want Canelo to fight after he puts the beat down on Avni Gildurum. As always, respect all, friend, and God bless. Till the next time, Real Talk Boxing, baby. We gone.